Alright guys, it's what is it, 10/19, October 19th. Let me turn off the music. Alright, we're going to be going over spread today. I believe there's been a little bit of confusion on it. So we'll give it a second, and let me get up my handy dandy paint open just in case we need it. Try to think if there's anything else we might need. Let's see if we can find a crap pair that has a nasty spread. Might go to Pepper Tree for this because I could probably find one on there that's pretty brutal. But so we're gonna be talking about spread and how it affects you in forex trading and with news trading, since it's definitely something you need to be aware of. Worst one I can find right now is GBP NZD. It's like about 3.3 pips. Do we got anything worse than that? Yes, that looks like it's going to be it. So let's open up file, new chart, GBP NZD. Let's get rid of the grid. Okay, so part of forex trading, you have something called the bid and the ask. That actually originates from equities. For us, it's buy, sell. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Not to cause any confusion, I'm not even going to put colors on the lines. If you go over to comment, it'll show ask line. And we're going to zoom in quite a bit so we can see what this looks like. Okay, so what we can see here is two different things. This is, the lower line is where price actually is. Now if you hit buy, and your spread is different per your, sorry, I'm drinking coffee. Your spread varies per broker. Basically what it means is, so let's say your broker doesn't charge commission, or if they do charge commission, this little gap here is how your broker makes money. It can vary from broker to broker. Again, like Pepper Tree, what is it? Pepperstone. I always call it Pepper Tree because we have a the apartment complex down the street from me is called Pepper Tree. Okay, but anyway, so this is where you would actually get entry. I'll show you real quick. So if I hit buy, and let's put, give me a sec. Good Lord, I'm never ready for this shit. I'm gonna do a line chart when we do this. La la la, where the hell are you? Oh, I think I remember you're not here. You're in market. Okay. Okay, so the red line here. Now if I hit, let's say I'm going to take a buy. See how already I'm negative 3.4 pips down? You see the red line? That's actual price is. So I'm already negative 7.7 pips down, 8 pips down, just because of the spread on this thing. The spread on this thing's 3.5 pips. Just so you can see what spread is running live. So you saw how I entered here, but it put price up here. So you always start in a hole with Forex. Now, depending on the broker you're with and the pair, some people, if you're doing tight scalps, I wouldn't trade this pair because of the spread. So 8.2 pip loss when I actually entered at right about here, where the red line is. So it added on about literally almost 4 pips of loss. So how does this affect you? Trying to think of an easy way to explain this. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to yawn. Okay, so the ask price doesn't hold steady here. It fluctuates. It could be 3.5 on this pair. So it's always going to be moving up and down. How does this affect your buy? You just saw. Now on a sell, it's a little bit different. For a sell, Let's do it this way. And this is when it's normal. Okay, so here's our price, right? Now let's say we have a spread that is, here's our price, here's our sell. I'm trying to do this so I don't screw up. Or that's our entry. Sorry. I'm trying to make sense of this. Now for a sell, it's a little bit different. This is going to be a sell. This is, let's say we put in a take profit of 5 pips, and so there we get, we're going to say this is 5 pips because that's what I say. So from here to here is 5 pips. Now let's say our spread, the spread is, I don't know, let's say the spread is 2 pips because that's about my average. And just to make this lovely, we will go, okay, done. Now let's do, I don't know, green. I'm going to draw green lines, and we're going to pretend this is 1 pip. And this is another pip. I hate trying to get these lines straight. And now we're going to draw price coming down. Okay, so here's our handy dandy price. We'll make it, I don't know, purple. Yes, I know my drawings are so excellent. So we have price, comes up, we get in the order. Well, that's not a line. Let's go with the pencil. Control Z, pencil-y, size, we'll go with something kind of fat and purple. Okay, so here's our order. We get in, we get over, oh shit, looks like we're going to lose. Price drops down. Now, the spread's 2 pips. So when price hits here, do we think price is going to close? Remember, this is on a sell. This is a sell. Yeah, that looks like my daughter's handwriting. When price hits here, it is not going to close. This also includes for a pending order. If you had a pending order sit here, it would not close. Since we have a 2 pip spread, and this is 1 pip, 2 pip, your order does not close until you get down to here, and then it's going to close here. So on a sell, you don't actually start off in the hole as much, but you don't close until you're 2 pips below what your actual entry was, or your target goal. So if you're taking a 10 pips, you need 12 to close the order. And we saw what happens with buy. Did everyone understand the buy? If it's a this is our entry, and if it's a buy, let's go spreads 2 pips again. Let's say this is the 2 pips. When you hit buy, your order actually opens up here, so you open up in the hole because price is here, and your order opens up here. So I know that was just some amazing drawing, but that's spread. So let's take a look at a few things then. What can spread do? Okay, so that's the simplicity of it. Let's go with the next simplest thing. When don't we trade? If we look at the little indicator here, you have here, and if you're using TAPFX, you get this. If not, it's a free indicator. I don't know where the hell you can get it, but you need something that shows you need to be aware of what trading. Oh, god damn, I got the hiccups. You need to be aware when you're trading. And Sydney Open, once the US closes, Sydney Open, there's a brief intermission between New York and Sydney. Do not trade in between there. That includes news releases, FOREX, anything. Unless you're long-term trading, then you don't give a shit. But if you're using TAPFX or you're scalping, stay out. The spread, and I'm going to show you real quick what happens with it. So let's take a look at the spread. 729. Let's take a look at the spread on the Sydney session when it first opens. is. My good God, why am I not? Nothing wants to work today. Seriously? Right, give me a second. Let's try that again. Sorry. I have no idea what the hell happened there. Okay, so this is it real quick. This is GBP NZD. Now, this is a 2 pip spread up, a 2 pip spread down. And you see the red line? Actually, I believe this is a 4 pip. This is 4 pips above price, 4 pips below price. It's not moving yet, but you see the red line? That's the spread. So we're going to take a look in a minute how this can really devastate a news trade. But if you got in this trade right here, your actual entry would be up here. So where the white line is, and I did this as a 4 pips so you can see visually how far away 4 pips is. This little white line, if you opened up a trade, your buy would be there. You'd end up in the hole almost 5 pips. Let's see if I can skip through this. I thought I had a different one. I might not have recorded it. There's the spread right there. I clear it up here in a second. It's 4.7 pips. This is, and notice New York is closed, Sydney's not open. This is just when New York's about to close. It's 4:20 p.m. there. It pretty much is closed. Do not there was a news release about 30 minutes or 10 minutes from now. The spreads go ape shit. I mean, they go completely and utterly ape shit. Oh, it's called number 2 access panel black if you want it. And I'm over on the other screen working on getting rid of that GBPY. But can you see how the end of the New York session to Sydney should be completely off limits for trading? Unless you're doing some pretty long-term trading, stay the hell away from it. Now for news trading, the issue we run into when the spread is too big, and let's take a look at that real quick. So what happens with news trading? What's the goal of the news trading is to create a straddle that's slightly bigger, that lets, I'll cover that in the webinar next, but the goal with the news trading is to straddle price just enough that it can wiggle before news and then burst in one direction and you catch it. A straddle is similar to what we see going on here. See how this moves? This is the job of the news EA. See how it moves with price, and then when news hits, it stops adjusting these and it lets it run in one direction. Now, what happens if your straddle's too tight and the spread puts it outside of it, like I'm showing here? And I'll show it again in a second. So, let's say this is relatively flat. Let's say this is your straddle for the news EA, but the spread is here. What's going to happen? And this is just kind of as a warning. This was, the news trade was at 45. They didn't even make it to 45 because they had to shut down. Look at the losses. It's negative 22 pips. So you want to make sure you're not too tight and you're not trading on the crazy spread. This was an insane spread. I mean, 20 some pips right before it hit. That was the NZD on, I believe, Monday when I said don't trade it because it fell right into that 445 window of in the no trade hell window. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to show? The spread for it, I guess. Give me 1 second. That's the wrong one. Now what can you do to fight it? I'll cover that later on for the group, but I'm just basically showing spread today and a few warnings on it. If you're using an EA and spread goes out of whack, it's going to toss almost any EA into shits. That's one of the few problems with EAs. If you specifically tell it to shut down if spread exceeds a certain amount, that is definitely doable. Like for me, I have mine set at 15 pips, it'll shut down. Since I'm not getting into the news course on this one, I'm just covering spread in general. I'm not going to get into what to do there, but spread is a motherfucker. You need to be aware of it at all times. Like right now I'm running 1.3. Let's look at my different spreads. 1.3 to 1.5. 1.6 is my worst. Other than this one, which is, God knows. Nope, wrong one. I'm so out of it today. And this one's running down to 2.8. You can see as the US comes closer to opening, it's calming down a little bit. But never ever, like I showed in that quick little video, you never want to be trading towards the end of the New York session, beginning of the Sydney session. If you're scalping, you're going to get your asses handed to you. You never want to take a news release until at least Sydney, Tokyo. When Tokyo kicks in, Hong Kong is going to kick in. We want all three of these lit up and open. If you don't know when they're open, if you don't have an indicator like that, just go to, I guess you call it, just Google Forex market times. And just come up with something that looks like this. And we can see what's open right now. New York's closed. It's going to be open up pretty soon. Frankfurt and London are still open. And remember, we do not want to trade at the end of London in between Sydney. It's just a nightmare. As you can see from the sample I had on the news trading one. Alright, so I just wanted to cover spread real quick. Some people had some questions on it. Now, spread gets to a point where spread, like maybe a 4 or 5 pip spread's not that bad when you're news trading. But when it gets into that it's like a 25 pip spread and your average spread is like 10 or 12 pips, it's going to start causing some funky reactions on buys and on sells. That's why I say you need to, if you're news trading or anything else, you always need to be aware of the spread and where you are in the cycles with the markets opening and closing, because it can cause hell. The only way around it, if you're using an EA again, is to limit the spread, say if it pops above. But the drawback to that is, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're a long-term trader and you're trading New York and the spread pops up to 17 for one tick and it closes your trade on you. That's a bitch, especially if you're in a loss and it swings back around and goes 100 pips in profit. So you have to really think about and plan on how you want to deal with spread. You can't just ignore it because it can burn you. And I'm going to get, with the news group, I'm going to get a little bit more into that because the picture that I had was pretty scary of what happened there. Where did my screen go? Okay, so other than that, guys, around 8 o'clock, which is in, what, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 2.5 hours, I'm doing a news webinar. You can watch it if you want. It's going to be old news for the guys that are in the news group already. It was a buy request because some of my news videos are on YouTube. And at the end of it, I guess I'll be trading the BOC monetary policy, which hopefully will move. Otherwise, it's going to be a boring fucking video. Other than that, 9:30 we got crude oil. Building permits at 7:30. So I'm going to end this and see if I can pick up a couple trades and stop yawning. Maybe I'll take a nap because I got up at 4. But if you have any questions on spread, guys, please hit me up so I can go through it with you, because it is one of the most important things you can deal with. With the news trading, you definitely need to record your spread and watch for it. That's one of the things I said. And you need to recognize which zones you're in. I'm going to do a little bit of an update on the news trading later, but other than that, we need to be aware of our zones. Remember, the most stable is right about now to the end of till the middle of the U.S. session. London open till U.S. lunch is probably your most stable. Although I actually prefer the London open until about now, but that's hard for me to wake up for. Alright guys, so that sums that up. I know I babbled a little bit, but hopefully I got my point across about spread and how you need to watch it. And I got the yawn in your ear. Alright, I'll be back on in about 8 o'clock my time, which is about 2.5 hours. I have to get my daughter up in a bit and everything. See y'all then.